All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel, guys. It is time to do another review. This one is the TwoSun TS399. So let's say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man. Log, TV kind of barely back there, and Log and TV and Choo Choo. And let's get started. Wow, I lost track there. So this is the KnivesFAST channel, and we have a KnivesFAST review for you today. Again, very cool knife. It is the TwoSun, as you can see, 399. This is designed by my buddy and yours, Sean, from Tepe Design. Sean was on the stream a couple of weeks ago, and what a cool dude. So we had a lot of fun with him, and so when this knife came out, I picked it up. Now, this is a remake of a previous TwoSun model by him, and man, suddenly I am blanking on the name of that model, but I think it's like the Atlas. I hate to say it because I could totally be wrong, but I think that sounds right. But somebody correct me down in the comments. I'm totally okay in this case with being corrected. But this is the re-release. And in this case, we have contoured micarta scales. We have a micarta backspacer. And we have a button lock. And a beautiful looking blade. You do have a silver pivot here with the TwoSun pivot and the tooling there. Your screws kind of stick up, as you can see there. They're done that way on purpose and milled around, which is kind of interesting. And then on the opposite side of the button lock, you have a bump in the scale there. Really interesting, but the contouring and the chamfering is done really well. As you can see, this is a very contoured knife. Now, you do have a stamped steel clip. Decent retention, but not like wonderful. We'll talk a little bit more about the clip. You do have a tiny bit sticking out of the pocket. It is left side only, tip up. And the screws do stick up, but the clip itself is, milled down into the micarta there. Very nicely done. You do have a whole deployment. There is your Tepe Designs logo, which is absolutely one of my favorite logos in the knife community. So good. TwoSun logo there. Well, of course, being me, I'm going to start by flicking it, middle finger flicking it, so you can see it here. You've got this wicked looking clip point blade. It kind of, the first version I looked, kind of went straight across. This one's got a nice little dip here that gives you even more access to that point. For those of you that always tell me that I need to review more knives that have a pointy blade to them instead of all the sheep's foots, this is your knife. Now, you do have a satin grind, TwoSun there, and Tepe there, and then, let's see, TS399, number 45. I didn't realize this was numbered. I don't know how many there will be. Now, I will say, one of the things I was going to point out is these are not currently available anywhere. They were at White Mountain Knives, and that's where I got this one. I wonder if there's going to be more. I guess if I find out, I will let you know. And it says D2 steel. Now, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of D2 knives all the time in a folding knife. Just simply because, you got to make sure you keep the pivot dry and clean and everything down in there. Hopefully that, I haven't had any corrosion issues. As you can see, no issues whatsoever, and hopefully it'll stay that way. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, just look at that blade, guys. And it is a, it's a hollow grind there. I'll double check on the paperwork, but it sure looks like a hollow grind. Let's see. Doesn't tell me, but I believe it's a hollow grind. It is running on bearings. It is a button lock. Now, you do have this kind of curled back, flipper tab, and it catches your finger really well, and it's not pokey stabby to me. I think it's great. It kind of cradles my finger and pulls it. Now, it is a light switch, not a push button. I mean, can you push button it? Sort of, but not really. The detent is good for the middle finger flick. It's a little light for the flipper, but as it is broken in, it has done really well. You can see, comes out of there fine. It's very smooth. That's the only thing I've done is just use it a lot, and it's just, look at that. It's just stupid broke in. When that detent catches, it is coming out as long as you just give it something, I'm not like flicking it hard or anything. Same thing goes here. It's going to come out fine with the middle finger flick. No problem whatsoever. Nice smoothed out on there. It's not going to tear your finger off or anything like that. Good jimping in the harpoon. So let's talk about that. Your thumb just lands right there, guys. Look, it's just perfect. Nowhere to choke up. 4-finger knife. Now, what Sean over at Tepe does is he gives me this kind of bulb at the end here, and that's going to lock you in, guys. You're narrower here, so it kind of funnels your hand up here to the guard, and then you've got this locked-in grip on that harpoon. Very, very nicely done. You do have plenty of room on the plunge grind for your sharpening choil. That is a sharpening choil, not a finger choil. But again, as this is broken in, it has gotten stupid good. Look at, I mean, just look. Now, it did come, let's just see, it did come dead centered. And can I get it where you can see it? There you go. Dead centered. And again, let's just talk lock up here. No side to side. No up and down. And you know, sometimes you get that with a button lock, and you just don't on this one. Very, very nicely done, TwoSun. By the way, I forgot, there is a tiny bit of button stick. It's not bad, but it's there. It's just a little bit. It's a whole lot less than a few I've seen recently, but there's a little bit. All right, so let's do our comparison knives, if I can find them. There we go. So first one is the Ontario. Oh, really? Really, Casey? I tried to rearrange this a little bit, but apparently I didn't do it enough. There we go. All right, so there's your Ontario Rat 1 and your TS399. Maybe I'm just going to give up on the slanted approach here. And the Ontario Rat 2. You can see the 1 is considerably larger and the 2 is a little smaller, so it's in between, which we find that most of the knives pretty much are. Now, let's talk specs on this beautiful knife. Let's put this back up here so you can see it real good. I just like that. Oh, man, look at that blade shape. So these are not available. Hopefully they will be again soon, but it's 7.8 inches with a close length of 4.41. Again, plenty of room for your hand. Oh, I forgot. I was going to talk about that. So again, with that kind of rounded shape, it feels good. You do feel the pocket clip in the typical spot that I do right in here, but it is definitely not a hot spot for me. And yeah, this, because it's turned back, is not a problem for me. Really, really nicely done. All right, so let's see. D2 steel, blade thickness 0.15, which it is a little thicker, but because of that hollow, comes down really nice. 4.3 ounces, which is fine for me. 3.19 inch blade. All right, let's get some cardboard here and do our thing that we always do because it's fun. This guy is a shaver. I want you to look at this. I mean, it is, look, I'm trying to go real small slivers here, and it is just a shaver. I mean, it just really, really is. Look at that. Fantastic cutter. Sean, congratulations on a great design. This wedge is absolutely wicked. I mean, you could have just cut that down. I mean, just the way they did the flats and the satin there, you know, the horizontal and then the vertical is just magnificent. This is a beautiful knife. Again, this will be sticking around because, like I said, I want to support Sean, and it'll be the first TwoSun in my collection. So we will keep this one around for sure. Love it, love it, love it. I hope it comes back into stock for you guys. And if it does, I will very much let you know. So give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And thanks for watching the KnivesFAST channel.